deadly shot from nowhere.
Borderlands 2 is, in the opinion of some people, probably a lot of people actually, the biggest shooter to come out this fall. You played it.
A lot.
A lot. Already there, we know. Okay. This is something special, I guess.
When you say shooter today, most people seem to think Call of Duty, and this is certainly something completely else. It's more or less Diablo and the whole dungeon crawling genre just transmogriffed into FPS, and it somehow works.
So, you've obviously played the first one. What's new, really, in Borderlands 2?
Well, first and foremost, of course, there's 4 new characters. It's Axton, it's Maya, it's Salvador, and the robot Zero. And it's for this kind of game, it's more or less just accepted that you take characters from the previous game and tweak them, and that's kind of what they've done. But a whole lot of work has gone into balancing them and making them much more diverse than before. So in the previous game, the most standard of the characters was the soldier, and it's also the story this time around. This time around, he's called Axton. And for instance, his main ability is that he has an auto turret that he can throw every like 30 seconds or so, and it would just pretty much kill everything. But you have 3 different ability trees, so you can build him like support or offensive or based on a new kind of damage type called Slag, where it's more.
You shoot something and then it takes more damage.
Exactly, yes, and it's the same way around for all the characters. Maya is about controlling the battlefield, pretty much crowd control from MMOs. The Gunzerker Salvador is pretty much a tank. He can actually use the middle fingers and provoke enemies and take lots and lots of damage and still regenerate everything and just take punishment while everyone else just delivers damage. And finally you have Zero, an assassin that can go invisible and kill everything with melee, or you can build him as a sniper. So really diverse.
It sounds like they've done a lot to make the classes complement each other more than they did in the first game.
Definitely. The first game was really fun to play in co-op, like most shooters are, but if you really looked at how the characters were put together, they really didn't work together. They were more or less just single-player characters put into a co-op game, whereas this time around, there's definitely been much more focus on the whole MMO way of building a game, and it just works.
About the story. Because the story in Borderlands 1 was not the greatest.
Not really there, and of course the ending of the first Borderlands was just horrible, and a lot of people complained about that. So this time around they hired a new guy. Some of you guys may know him from the Hey Ash series that's really popular on the internet. And he's a really funny guy. He's called Anthony Birch, and he pretty much, as I understand it, wrote everything in the game, and it's so funny.
Could I have a refund, please? This gun doesn't seem to work.
I don't know. Looks like it works to me.
I mean, it's so bizarre. It's still the crazy Borderlands universe where violence gets mixed into, pretty much everything, sex, politics, everything is in there, and it's put together in a sort of way where you can't really decide if it's meant to just be playing out just fun, or if there's something really tragic about the whole place, because Pandora really is, the game world really is like a really scary place, and the further you progress along in the story, the more the more dark it gets, and you'll just have to experience it yourself. But it's really fun while at the same time being really, really disturbing.
Right. As you said in the beginning, you've been playing this a lot, which I guess means this is a big game.
Oh, it is. I've just managed to play through, and I'm at like 40 to 42 hours.
For one playthrough?
One playthrough, and with one of the characters, and I haven't completed all the side missions yet. So it's definitely a huge game, but then again, it's also the sort of game where you end up using like 10 extra hours just going out to hunt loot or extra money, or just messing around in this fun world, and it's really worth it. It's a far more diverse world than in the first game, and they even have made mention of it themselves in the trailers, where they said, yeah, the first game was pretty much just brown and gray, whereas this is just, you know, all the colors of the palette.
This one has blue.
Yeah, well, it's really simple the way they've just divided Pandora into just really different areas. So you see over here, you see like lush greens, and over here it's much more like the glass and steel and the future city of the future and everything. And the way it's set up, you can just jump around, so you can go pretty much where you want at the moment you want and just enjoy it all.
It still has that sort of cartoony, cel-shaded Borderlands look.
Yeah, they've expanded upon it a bit. It's definitely one of the games that's becoming limited by the hardware it's running on, because it's first and foremost designed for consoles, but it looks really good, and there's a lot of really, really nice like lightning effects that they've used. Probably because they can really add detail into the graphic style itself. So it's pretty much everything around it, and it looks really good. It's much more colorful than the previous game, and that in itself, of course, is good.
So I guess it goes without saying that if you enjoyed Borderlands 1, you will enjoy this one. But if you weren't into the first one, didn't play the first one, is this still a game to go get?
Probably not. If you didn't enjoy the first game, this won't be the game for you. But if you're intrigued by the whole Borderlands mystique and you think that the sequel looks really good, you can definitely start here. It's a far deeper game when it comes to the role-playing mechanics. It's far more balanced. It's far more diverse, and it's got one of the coolest bad guys in recent memory in the form of Handsome Jack, who's just, you know, constantly peppering you with insults and just horrible stuff, while also mentioning why he is the greatest man alive. So if you like that sort of humor, this is for you.
But sorry, kiddos, you really got no chance. Because I've got a few tricks up my sleeve that I wouldn't want to spoil the surprise. Suffice it to say, Vault Hunters, I'm gonna kill you. You want to prove me wrong? You want to stop the greatness that is Handsome Jack? Well, come and get me.